All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's LA Joan with Hot Talk Radio. All right, so I had posted something the other day, and I was like, man, people, everybody don't internalize pain well. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say well, but I say like everybody doesn't internalize their pain or whatever it is that they're going through, right? And so people be talking to me. They be like, "Are you always complaining the best on? You always complaining the best on?" No, I'm not always complaining the best of. But I'm not finna sit here and just hold in whatever I want to hold in. Like, this shit's not healthy for me. It may be healthy for you, but it ain't healthy for me. And I'm gonna explain what I'm talking about. Like me, I'm one of them type of people that's like, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what the deal is, Bill. You hear me? Like, for instance, like, let's just say that I went through a day where my tire didn't get flat. I didn't, I'm sorry, I gotta find my brushes and stuff. I gotta find them. But yeah, so it'll be like a day when I've been going through like crazy, crazy nonsense, right? And I'm the type of person, right, that'll sit there and like I tell you, I'm like, man, look, my tire done went flat. I done fell off a curb. I almost died out here in these streets. I almost ran into a tree. Got food poisoning, whatever, whoop de whoop, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That's just the type of person I am. And then I laugh it off and keep it going. You feel me? But like people be like, are you always complaining? Everybody going through stuff. I know everybody's going through stuff. I'm going through stuff. I just told you what I was going through. But I made it, didn't it? Okay? You heard me. Like, and it's just the real deal. How it feel. Like I know, like I feel like nowadays, in my opinion, you know, I feel like a lot of people don't really know the difference between just like real and somebody like real and negativity. Like I feel like people really don't know the difference, right? And sometimes it's how you word it, you know what I mean? But I really feel like people really 100% do not know the difference between what's real and what's negativity. You feel me? Like the stuff I'm going through, child, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, not the literal stuff I'm going through, but in essence, like, the things, little trials and tribulations life take you through. Child, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Things happen. You know, it is what it is. But I ain't one of them type of people that's just gonna internalize my pain because I kind of feel like, a lot of people be going through stuff, right? And they go through things silently, and one thing I know for a fact is like, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people be happy on the outside but be really low key depressed. You feel me? Like, they be really depressed, you know, like really depressed, really don't know what to do in a drought, can't make it out. You know what I'm saying? Kind of situation, right? Now me, my situation seems like that, but let's keep it a book. Let's keep it a trillion. You know what I mean? Like my situation, I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck at all. You know, as far as like mentally, I'm not stuck. Physically I might be, but mentally I'm not. You know. And the things that I go through in my life, in my lifetime, it's just things that I go through. You hear me? It's just things that I go through. Like I used to try to like internalize stuff. Like when people see me, I never really told them what I was going through. You know what I mean? I'm always up for listening to other people's problems. And I think that's kind of like a situation that a lot of empaths go through. Right? Is that a lot of us honestly don't listen. I mean, like we listen to other people's problems, versus just letting out the things that we going through, But once I started talking and I started speaking on the stuff that I was going through and how I was really feeling, or, and just like speaking on it, you know what I mean? Like I ain't really like sad, upset, depressed about it. I be mad, of course. But once I get it out, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I feel a lot better, like, because at the end of me saying everything that I done been through, like, bro, I done, got into a car wreck today, and, this happened, and that happened, and this didn't happen, but the truth is, I made it, you hear me? I made it, and I'ma laugh it off, and I'ma keep going. And people be like, well, why would you laugh, when you going through such a bad time and this, and the third, but like, I mean, what can you change about it? You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that you be going through, like if you, I feel like people that internalize stuff that they feel or stuff that they going through, you know, I feel like them be like the most devious people, or they kind of like, they either like real devious or they, I'm trying to see what's the word I'm looking for. I feel like a lot of narcissists are like that, right? Like they feel like they gotta be strong, like they can't show no emotion, you know, and they just gotta like keep going on and going on and going on. Like, oh, my problems, they're minor compared to the world, and no one cares. And I feel like they really make this like the makings of a narcissist, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because for you to even sit there, in my opinion, and say that nobody cares about my problems, like that's not true. Somebody cares. Your biggest hater cares about your problems. I mean, I'm telling you, like your biggest hater will care more about your problems than you do. Somebody cares. But that ain't the person you go talk to about it. I'm going to tell you that now. Because they ain't going to do nothing but make the problem worse. You hear me? But, like, somebody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let people tell you that, you know, don't nobody care about your problems. Because, honestly, like, speaking about the problems or the things that you've gone through, you don't know how they can help or inspire somebody else. You feel me? Like, you really have no idea. I know so many people that have like been through so many things, you know, and I be like, man, I've been through that too, you know, this is in the third, blah, blah, blah. You know, we have a conversation about it, you know. It's usually, before all this madness, that's usually just kind of how they went. You know, we have a conversation like, yeah, I've been through that too, and, you know, this happened and yada, 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 you know. But I'm here. You hear me? I'm here. I'm smiling. I'm happy, you know. I'm moving on with my life. You know, and it's just what it is. You know, sometimes you just gotta get that information out. You know, I ain't saying tell everybody, I ain't saying that, but sometimes you gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about the things you're going through. You know what I mean? Now some people be like, well, you know, if you tell somebody their problems, like you can't figure it out yourself, you can't figure it out. Like I remember I used to do these Facebook things online like all the time. I used to ask like a lot of random ass questions. You know what I mean? And people hating ass people, honestly. They'll be like, why you asking all these questions? You can go Google it. You can look it up yourself. Yeah, I can. But also, I can ask you too. Like, what? Like, what's the problem with me asking you a question? You got a problem with me asking you a question? The fuck? I hate that. But, yeah. My whole thing is like this. You know, you got a problem with me speaking on the things that I've been through? How's that hurting you? What does it have to do with you? You know, like I said, your biggest hater cares, believe it or not. You know. And you know what's so crazy? Like, we live in a very weird time right now, right? Where it's like, it's a really strange time, like when you really peep game on what's really going on, right? And I know this is kind of a little bit off topic, but it's slick on topic, though. Just pay attention, though. Because, like, we live in a time where people will be like, they'll ask for something or they need something, right? And they'll be like, well, go get it yourself, go do it yourself, do it yourself, do it yourself. You know, but if you do it yourself, that means you have to rely on technology, right? So here's the thing. That makes technology more relevant, okay? Then the more technology is relevant, the less humans are relevant or needed. I'm not going to say they're relevant, but they're less needed. You feel what I'm saying? And then people want to also complain about how they losing jobs to robots and technology. But didn't you just tell me go do it myself? You know what I'm saying? Like this was a 2-man job, but you didn't want to help me. Now I had to go get a robot. Now you mad. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But it's a very strange time we live in, you know. And honestly, you know, in my opinion, with us being, we are very connected. We are very connected, but also very disassociated. when it comes down to like life right now, because we have social media presence, and that's not our true being, right? That's an avatar, right? That's a business, that's a brand, that's a personality, that's a reputation, right? It's a thing. It's kind of like your social media life is your LLC. You know what I'm saying? It's your C corp. It's your S corp. You know what I'm talking about? It's your corporation. That's what your social media is. Meaning that it exists, it is attached to you, but it ain't you. You know what I'm talking about? So yes, we are connected. We're able to be there and see each other. We're able to see presence, pieces of one another all the time. We're very connected, but we're also very disassociated. That'd be sometimes I would go into like clubs and events and stuff like that, and everybody in there would be on their phone. Everybody, you know what I mean? And then some people be taking pictures like, yeah, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and deep down inside, I'd be like, bruh, this boring. This is boring. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in here trying to take pictures for the gram, Twitter, Twitch, whatever we on nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But it's boring because ain't nobody talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just here for the show. Everybody here for their corporation. Everybody here for their brand. Everybody here for their, just for the showcase, the display. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Poo-Poo? It's my dog. And we are very connected people. You know what I mean? We're very convenient. We can get to each other very quick, fast, in a hurry, but we're very disassociated, really, honestly, in a lot of ways. And it ain't just on social media, you know what I mean? But ironically, a lot of it does center around media, believe it or not. But that's a whole thesis I probably have. I think I have a lot of theories and a lot of theses, right? Theses. I have a lot of them, But nothing set in stone. Most of them are based off opinion, according to my own personal research and or opinion. You know what I mean? But I said all that to say this, on social media, everybody's so hyper dramatic or either hyper, what's the word? Happy, right? So like when somebody speaks something real, we read it at a level of, we read it at a hyper level, right? So like somebody, like I got a couple of Facebook friends, right? That I be reading they posts, right? And it be some real ish, you hear me? It be real ish. But I notice they don't get a lot of likes on there, But if they post something like on brand, right? Very, oh, I just got a new job and oh, I'm so happy, I'm moving up. You know what I'm saying? Very on brand type thing. They get a whole bunch of likes, But I was like, man, this brand just said some real ish like 2 days ago. Nobody paid attention to it. Nobody wanted to say anything. But when you say stuff like that, people view it as negative. But like, how is it negative if it's real? Because it's social media. Social. To be social, you have to be happy amongst a general population. You have to be happy. So when it comes down to like people speaking on things that are real, right? It's a problem because that's not the place for that, The place to speak on real things, real topics, real issues, real situations. We try to put them. We have other spaces for that. It's not something that you want to release to the general public. It's just not something that is a good idea to release to the general public. Speaking on something that is real. And you can't really. That goes back to me saying a lot of people don't internalize pain well, right? Like when it comes down to topics where it's like And this isn't anything new. This honestly is just, this is really old game. This ain't even no new game, really, to be honest. But like when it come down to like topics of like real, the truth, you know, it's hard to stomach, you know, because when people speak on what's real, you know, you are forcing the listener, the viewer, to face their own reality, right? And that's the hard part. A lot of people have to set a time out for themselves to face their own reality. So when you speak on what's real, you know, you have to face, you have to understand that it's going to require your viewers, your listeners, to face their own damn reality. So if you do it socially, in public, real is viewed as disrespectful and or negative, because that is not the space for it. But when it gets to a space of social settings, right, whether it be on social media or whatever, does that make it any less real? You know? I see a lot of like influencers. You know what I mean? A lot of influencers go up for bat every day. You know? With a lot of with just speaking on truth, you know. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them speak about their situations, you know, just speaking on it, you know, not necessarily trying to be negative or trying to like be dramatic. They just be speaking on stuff, you know, things that they be going through, you know. I don't necessarily think a lot of people be looking for sympathy. There are some people that be catfishing sympathy, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, there be some people that really be catfishing sympathy. But I see a lot of social media, like, influencers just over the time, right? And they'll be speaking on the things that be going on in their life, you know. And when I remember when this whole thing of, like, social truth, that's what I call it, social truth started. And it was just people of, like, just speaking on the things that they had been going through, you know, just to, you know, receive love from the community or help from somebody, you know, or a good word, you know, or just passing along information, being the pillar of like, bro, I'm going through stuff, you know, I'm a real person, you know, I go through things, you know. Right. But then you get bullied for being real. But everybody don't internalize their pain. And why is it okay for people to internalize their pain? You know? And it's weird because as a social media influencer, you know, I just speak on a lot of things that I have been through. Now, there are some things that I've worded, right? Well, I'm not even going to bring it up. But I speak on a lot of things that I've been through, you know. And a lot of people be like, oh, you spreading your business and this, that, and the third, and da, 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 da. And it's like, nah, not really. I mean, if we live in a time right now where, like, people be literally snitching on each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, on social media, like, yeah, I was with her and I couldn't stand her and she stole my cat and she licked the booty. And it's like, whoa, bruh, nobody asked you for that. Like, we just want to know when your music dropping. You hear me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand you can talk about your breakup, your split, woo, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool, you know. But you dropping dime on this person, like, you know. And that's the type of world we live in right now, you know. Now, I get speaking on your truth. You know, I get that. I get that 100%. But it's like, we live in a time where it's like you have to internalize your pain or get a therapist. And you gotta pray that that therapist is like a real one and ain't gonna dime you out, you know, for real, for real. Because it's like you speaking on the stuff that you going through, you know, you speaking on the things that you going through. And you hoping that it'll help somebody else, or just like, bro, I'm going through some stuff right now. This is just really the real me. You try to be real with people, but you can't be real with people. So then it causes you to internalize your pain. And when you internalize your pain, like, it really just kind of turns into anger. It would turn into anger and negative things like vindictiveness or stuff like that. Just internalizing it. Like, I would rather somebody like honestly, nobody has to tell me their business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't have to tell me. But I would rather you tell me what's wrong with you than for you to be like, oh, I'm just gonna hold it in. No, you not finna, like, I don't, like, anybody that truly know me know that if I'm around them, right, and I sense something wrong with you, I'm gonna ask you 15 times what's wrong with you. You know what I mean? But you ain't gotta tell me your business, but bro, you need to talk to somebody because this ain't you. I done seen over the course of my life, like, I didn't talk too many people, and these people I do know, people I don't know, just off the ledge of like insanity and off the ledge of like even doing something worse to themselves, like committing suicide, stuff like that. Just trying to hold it all in and be strong. You feel me? Like, but then I look at the people that's like 100% honest. Well, you ain't gotta be 100% honest, but this just honest about like who they are. They generally tend to be a lot happier. They may not be as rich or as famous. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are, but most of them are not. But they are happy. You know what I'm saying? And it's for real. They are happy. They are happy with who they are, And they deal with a lot though. Because like being honest, to as weird as it sounds, like being honest really gets you targeted a lot. And I understand why, because we have to move in a certain type of way in this system that we live in. You feel me? This system of life, we have to move in a certain type of way. If you are wanting to gain something out of life, right? But when I say it takes so much stress off a person with just being honest and just being real about what you're going through, what's what ain't, this, that, and the third. It take a lot of stress off of you, Like, I'm a person, like, I like to vent, you know what I mean? I try not to vent to people, but every now and then you gotta have a friend or somebody to listen to. That's why I say get a therapist, And hopefully they a G. Some of these folks is not straight, and I hate to say that, but it's just for real, for real. But I'm a vent, I'm a vent, right? Because a lot of like stuff that people be internalized and be based off of their own assumptions of a situation, their own points of view of things, right? Like when they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, it is, but it ain't worth 1,000 of my words. Like, I might literally just got one word for this picture. It's cute. For you, it might be ugly. You know what I'm saying? So like, you feel me? So whatever you internalizing for that day, whatever you consume for that day, you go home, you internalizing it, you might be taking it the wrong way. Sometimes you just need to get it out, and it's just for real, for real. That's why I actually did a podcast on this. What do I call it? A emotional poop. I call it emotional poop every day. Do an emotional poop every day, right? Because I've been targeted, right? So I know how it feels to like have people constantly messing with you. And like when you get grown, when you get older, when you a kid, you can like hit somebody or play, steal their little toys or whatever, you do kid stuff. But when you get older, you still doing kid stuff, but mostly you playing with people in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to play with your head, right? So they be messing with you, doing like little petty activity and stuff like that. And being targeted like that, it's a lot. It is. It's a lot because you consuming all these unpure energies from everywhere, and you absorbing this stuff every day, and it becomes a lot if you allow it. And if you don't get this stuff out of your spirit, if you don't get other people's bullshit out of your spirit, right, you gonna sit there and internalize they bullshit. And for me, like how energy works, in my opinion. Now, I ain't no spiritualist. Like, I don't study this. I consider myself to be spiritual. But I'm not a spiritualist, But how energy works, though, it's like what you put out, I consume. What you put out, I consume. Right? What I put out, you consume. But if you don't know how to protect your spirit from BS, you gonna sit there, you gonna internalize it. You know what I mean? You gotta get it out, because if you don't, you just gonna keep it in. And that's why another thing, to me, in my opinion, like I feel like I say this all the time. I was like, bro, it's easy to become the person that hurt you. It's really, really easy to become the person that hurt you. And I feel like in many instances in my life, right, I've become a person that hurt me. For real. I had become that person. But I think a lot of it was because of the anger, the pain, or whatever it was, I was internalizing it. I internalized a lot of it. So I just ended up becoming just like that person, And I know this sounds crazy, but and I hate to use his name, but I if I name drop most of the times in my podcast, it's just because everybody already know, everybody know, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like I'm picking on this person. It's just literally everybody already know. Let's talk about it. But like R. Kelly, right? In his situation, and he been through a lot of like sexual assault when he was younger. He had been through things like that. And then for him to internalize that over time, he just basically ended up becoming that person again, right? Because like when you let something sit in your spirit, right, you absorbing, okay, this molester, this assault person is coming and they victimizing you. That means they putting their negative energy onto you. Right? Because when they done hurting you, they walk off happy, don't they? You see what I'm saying? They putting their negative energy onto you. And if you keeping their negative energy in your spirit, over time, you some will become that person. You feel what I'm saying? But when everybody does not internalize pain. And just because people do not internalize pain, that does not mean that they are weak. It does not mean that they are complaining. They might be complaining, but it does, you know what I'm saying? They might be, if it becomes a reoccurring thing. Yeah, they might be complaining. But, and I've been there, too. So, but everybody just don't internalize pain, because internalizing and holding it in, you literally just become the person that hurt you. For real, for real. You really literally will become that person. So it's really just better to like get this stuff out, in some type of way. Some people might get it out in music. Some people might get it out in an art form or some type of way, designing bags. Me, I tried to the pain that I internalized, right? Because I always kind of felt like with just how society is, like I said, well, I never really felt like nobody cared about my problems. I just kind of felt like I always should handle them myself, which is also a bad thing to feel as well, as far as internalizing pain, right? Or internalizing issues. It's feeling like you can do this yourself, you know. But the truth is, it's like it's 8 billion people on this planet. I don't think God, the universe, or whatever created all of these people. They even got animals you can talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for you to internalize it, like you can't do that. You know what I mean? You got to talk to somebody. You got to, you know. And just because a person speaks up or just kind of says things about the things that they're going through, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are complaining or that they hurt or mad or upset or down bad. They just having a moment. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just need to get it out. You know, maybe it's just who they are. You know, I know I'm one of them type of people that's like, man, I done got ran over by a car. I done got ran over by a car, a horse and pooped on my shoe. Like, I be having all kind of weird luck. Like, for real. Like, I be having really weird luck. You know what I'm saying? And over time, you know, with me, I also am very clumsy too. And then over time, outside, I just be like, you know what, it is what it is. You feel me? Now, usually I try to laugh about these things. You know, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to vent, I'm going to be a little fuss box. But once I'm done, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? That made me upset. But once I calm down from all that, I'm like, you know. It just is what it is, you know. And I like to talk to people, you know, just about certain things that I've been through too, because some people need to feel like that they not alone in the stuff that they going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really do need to feel like they not alone too, you know, which is also why I try to, like, you know, when a person's going through something, I kind of, you know, share something with them. Sometimes, all the time I don't, but sometimes I should kind of share something that I've been through too, you know, just to kind of give them a point of view of like what I did or how I'm dealing with it, you know, because sometimes, you know, people need solutions too, you know. I don't think that we come across each other in life to not be of assistance of some sort, you know. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you just want to somebody to listen to you. Sometimes you just want to know, oh, I'm not alone. You know, there are other people that have been through this too. You know, now I'm not really sure who's been through my particular situation, but I'm pretty sure there are some that have. You know, but yeah. I don't think it's good to always internalize it. Like, there are people that be going, like, you know what else I noticed? Like, a lot of people that internalize things. And this is something for me. Because, like, internalizing your pain could be a good thing, too. Because I know it turned me into a workaholic. Like, I was on it. You hear me? I was really, really on it. It really did turn me into a workaholic. For real. But, and even though I was doing real good, it still comes down to the fact of, like, am I dealing with the problem? Because the problem's still there. You know? The problem's still there. The problem ain't went nowhere. Nowhere is their problem going. Oh, darn it. Am I dealing with the problem? You know? Because even though, like, money don't fix everything. And one thing I've always wanted to do before I ever made some real money in my life was to fix myself. Because I was like, bro, I refuse to be unhappy with money. And I say that we just because of the situation where we'll see like a lot of celebrities or just important people or just people we know that have all this money, but then they be on drugs and next thing you know they done OD'd or they done tried to hurt themselves or something like that. And I was like, bro, I don't want to be unhappy with money. There was not anything that I ever wanted to do. So before I make money in this lifetime, I need to fix myself first. And there was a promise that I made myself. You know, a lot of people be like, oh, you moving like a turtle. I might be. But into my head, got to a place where it is now, I'm sorry, but money ain't gonna fix everything. You feel me?